I dodged 2 molestation attempts.
Really?
Yeah, 2.
What'd you dodge?
Well, I dodged one of them when I probably was like 7 or 8 years old. That was the scare. Well, they were both pretty scary, but that was the scarier one because I was at the library, and I was by myself. I was a latchkey kid. My parents just let me out of the house, which, at the time was kind of normal. In retrospect, like thinking about it now, like I couldn't imagine letting my 7-year-old just
public
fucking
library.
wander around. Not just that, but walk to the public library, in San Francisco. And this guy, I was looking at, I was always into like horror movies and monster movies and shit.
Yeah.
And so I was reading these books they had a section of like, monster books.
Yeah.
And this guy came up to me and he goes, do you like monster books? I go, yeah. And he goes, oh, I have some monster books in my car. You want to see them? I'm
No.
like, okay. Like, I didn't know any better. I was
Yeah.
fucking 8 years old or whatever it was. And as I'm leaving with this guy, the librarian starts screaming, Joseph, you get away from that man. That man just got out of jail. And she yells at him to get out of there, and the guy runs away, and I just started crying. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
So I dodged that bullet. And then another time when I was 13. When I was 13, we were hanging around this lake in Jamaica Plain. It was Jamaica Pond was this place we would go and fish. And there was another pond that was like this neighboring pond that was like slightly smaller. And this guy was always like running around the lake. He was jogging. And me and my friend Josh would be hanging out. And this guy would come over and talk to us. He seemed like a super normal guy. He used to be a teacher, and he had retired, and he probably was like in his 60s. Then one day, it's just me.
He went for it.
One day, it's just me, and I'm fishing, and he comes by, and he's drunk.
Damn.
And he tells me he loves me, and I'm like super confused.
How old were you?
13.
Okay.
And I had been talking to this guy on and off. I had seen him, for months.
Yeah.
Like he'd come by, say hi.
Yeah.
It was always like casual, very good humored, very friendly, but he was like setting us up. And he comes by, and then I realize after, he tells me he loves me, but there can be no love without sex. That's what he says. And I'm like, what? And I had a knife. So I remember like I grabbed my knife in my pocket, and I had my hand on my knife, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to stab this guy.
Damn.
Yeah. I was like, this is going to, because there was no one around. There was no one around.
Wow.
It was just trees and
You were 13,
forest.
you were like, I'm going to have to stab.
Oh, I was going to cut this guy.